Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you watching me from. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the live stream. Today is going to be kind of interesting, man. I've never really did a a whole live stream on this simp thing because I'm still learning, but it's called Are the Men Who Come to the Philippines Considered Simps? But before I get started, of course, let me tell you what the exchange rate is today. It's 52.41. That's going up again. From my live stream on Sunday to now, it's went up 0.20 pesos, about 1/5 of a peso, man. That's good. Anytime it's over 50, in my opinion, it's good. I wanted to give a shout out to Oliver Waterman down in Winter Park, Florida, man, for sending me that ballot buying box. Anytime anybody sends me a ballot buying box, I give him a shout out. I'm going to put him in my Hall of Fame, not only for sending the box, but he sent that printer. Y'all not going to believe this. Earlier in the day, Laura is her name. She was asking me, said, hey, next time we go to Bacala, we need to get a printer because she has to print out a whole lot of forms and different things for her work. The tax forms and all of that. And I'll be damned if a printer doesn't come in that box. And of all the things that somebody could have sent me, what made him think of a printer, man? I've got to put you in my Hall of Fame for that. But let me reiterate something. It kind of goes into the topic today, I guess. But guys, listen, I've been on here for almost 20 months now. Let's stop making commitments online. It's okay meeting women online, but we're making commitments, guys. That's a big, big mistake over here. You don't know who or what you're committing to. I mean, whatever happened to the common sense that you had, you've been showing all your life on your job, in the military, with your successful business, then you want to make a commitment. The minute you get off the plane, you want to move in with somebody. You don't even know these women, man. Listen to this. I don't care how long you've been chatting with them. It's not long enough. You don't know the people over here. All right, I'm going to say that, and we'll get on with the topic. Because I'm not preaching, man. I'm just trying to help guys, man. If I can help 1 out of 1,000, which is probably what I'm betting now, with my channel, as far as helping folks. About 1 out of 1,000, because we're our worst enemy. I get emails, I get messages every day. I'm like, dude, you've already made the 2 biggest mistakes. Number 1, you sending money over here. Number 2, you made a commitment. The only thing else that can go wrong now is when you get over here, her brother is her lover. Okay? But what is a simp? Because see, I'm 58. I'll be 59. I can't even remember hearing that word until here during the pandemic. All right. And when I looked it up, it said that Ice-T, the rapper Ice-T, said he had a song with Simp called Simps and Suckers back in 1987. We usually call them suckers or wimps, but I never heard the simp. But here's a couple of definitions. Then you can chime in with your definition. It says, a simp is a man who will go to any lengths to try to please a woman. He'll bend over backwards if he thinks that's what the woman wants. Wikipedia even has its own definition. It says he's someone who does way too much for a person they like. And it's usually done in pursuit of a sexual relationship. Because like I said, I don't really have a whole lot of knowledge on this simp thing. And then because I looked at this website, and this is what I'm basing my live stream on. He had some simp behavior, some examples of simp behavior. And I said, well, hell, I fit that. Am I a simp? One of them was, I've done one of all of these. He had 4 of the worst things you can do. Simping, he called it. And sending money, okay, to impress women. All right, I've done that. But that's the number one thing he said. That's what a simp would do. He'll send money over here, try to impress a woman. You don't know her. You don't know what she's doing with the money or anything like that. Okay. Chasing women. Well, hell, what else do you call buying a plane ticket and flying 8,000 miles for attention if that's not chasing a woman? But this is his definition of a simp behavior. Okay. Putting women on a pedestal. And that's what we've done with this Filipino, man. She's become like this mythical figure. Even though here I am living over here, I'm trying to cut through this myth and try to give you some reality. Y'all not listening. Okay. The last thing he said was lying to impress a woman. Hey, I'm a doctor, and really, you're a garbage collector, or the things we do to try to impress a woman. But another website says suckers, this is what a simp is. Suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. This is what he says. Pays too much attention to women, puts her on a pedestal, puts her needs before his own. And man, I tell you, I'll get to y'all now, but until I came over, I didn't know what a simp was. We called them suckers. If a woman's playing you for your money, you buying her everything, she really has no interest in you, and you just keep on pushing the issue, trying to do everything you can to push up next to her. We called you a wimp or a sucker, but now it's called simp. Jeffrey Tatter says not at all. As long as the man puts himself first in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with taking care of a lady that takes care of you. See, that's the way I look at it. And then, because after looking at what this guy says, Jeffrey, I had to say to myself, then what's the opposite of a simp then? What is the opposite of a simp? Can you be too manly? I mean, what are we supposed to do? So it's not okay to, try to impress a woman. Who over in America is women are just running up to them, falling to their feet for nothing? It's got to be some reason they're doing that. Hey, Johnny Washington, thanks for the super chat. He says, hello from Houston, Texas. And I've got a guy I was talking to yesterday. He's here now. His name is Dean, and he's going to be on the next panel. He's from Texas. And I told him, I said, man, there's a lot of guys on here from Texas, man. Rod said they are not simps because in the Philippines, you get what you pay for and more. What you get in America is a ripoff. Yeah, I'm like, what's the opposite of simp? Can you be too cautious? Can you treat a woman too bad, man, where she ain't going to want you at all? I mean, it's okay to stand your ground, man, but I'm like, how can you do all of that and still respect a woman? Without all this men going their way stuff. There's a W Secrets to Success vlog. Hey, call me after this if you're still up. He said also it's a nice, cool evening here in Dallas. He's from Texas. He said, yo, Texas, what shipping container company did you use to send your items to the U.S. to the Philippines? Texas Azoy. Orchid King says, hi, everyone. I think I just found heaven in the Philippines. It's called Amapulo Resort. You take a private jet to get there. Oh, man. So you're in the Philippines now? And a lot of you guys, another thing he put on there, Orchid King, if you're not by yourself, he considers you a simp. He says a simp is somebody who takes women on trips and it's not their girlfriend or wife. I'm like, boy, this guy's tough on us, man. Timothy Carter, he says, why women keep saying they're not the same? Don't judge us, but they all say the same things and play the same game. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly true. But I just want to know what's the opposite of simp. I mean, how are we supposed to act toward women? Is this still the caveman days we hit over the head with the club and drag her back to the house? Is that what we do? Even back then, the guy with the biggest cave and the biggest piece of meat and the biggest fur always got the best women. So what would make that change now? Hey, Yusuf Amar Habibi says, good morning, Calvin. He said, hello to all the simps and non-simps here tonight. That's funny, but what constitutes, if you go by this guy's definition, we're all simps. Who hasn't done all this stuff? You know, because I asked the question, I said, are the men in the West really getting women for nothing, just for being a man? You got to have something, guys. Eventually, you got to have, you know, they say that they want the 6'6", 6 foot, 6 figures, 6-pack, and then you got to have a 6-inch dick on soft. I'm going to add to that. Yeah, get the lights up, guys. Hey, Anthony Williams, he said, good morning, Calvin from DuPont, Washington. What's up, brother? How far is that from Seattle? But yeah, guys, we're making, I kind of reiterate this. It's not a whole lot that I tell you not to do, but to make a commitment online, guys, you're messing up, man. This is not your country. The rules aren't the same over here as they are over there. You don't know these women. And who are they? See, that's simp behavior right there if you go toward this guy. Who are they that you're going to do all the... First of all, you buying the ticket to come over here. Okay? It's a difference between taking her to Boracay, letting her stay in the same hotel with you, then starting a life with a woman the minute you get off the plane. Come on, you couldn't be that stupid, but we are. As much crazy stuff as I did on my first few trips over here, I didn't even do that. I even knew enough not to do that, man. You know, being lonely is no excuse, man. Stop using that as an excuse. It's not. And I'm sorry, man. He says simping ain't easy. I tell you. But is it just about sending money? He says it's not. Is it just about giving the woman money? He says chasing a woman. Well, see, over here, because I was going to do a video called There's No Simps in the Philippines, because everything that we consider simp behavior in America is accepted behavior over here. It's not considered chasing women over here. It's considered courting over here. But I said I might as well just do the live stream and let y'all give y'all 2 cents too. Hey, Joseph Asbury, thanks for that super chat. He said, greetings from New York City, retired Army here. Night shift right now. Can't keep up. Just keep up the great work, Calvin. I'm coming over there too. Yeah, come on, man. Just don't make a commitment. Who says that you can't come over here? Especially if you're going to be over here for a long time. I'm not talking about you guys that you 2-week wonders and weekend millionaires. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about guys who are coming over to spend some considerable period of time over here. Why not just come over here, get your place, and all that? You still can see the lady. You know, here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do 2 things at the same time. We're trying to acclimate to the Philippines and manage a relationship at the same time. Neither one of these things we know anything about. That creates stress. You didn't come over here for stress, man. You know, and everybody always wants to say, oh, it ain't about the pussy, it ain't about the sex. You're a lie, it is. And he says simping is idolizing mediocre pussy. A guy messaged me today, said, oh, yeah, I would say she's a 5 because she's short and skinny. Well, hell, That's mediocre then. What's up, Brandon Bonner? Mr. Vega says simps like confidence and do not understand that they are the prize, not the woman. Well, especially here. I wrote this down. I said, okay, it seems like I'm confusing people when I talk about you're the prize. Okay. Because the playing field isn't level. But let's pretend that it was. The minute you start injecting money into the situation, you give her the edge anyway. Now the odds is in her favor. So let's just say the playing field is even. Why you want to put it all in her corner now? Why you want to put all the odds in her favor now? You sending money, you buying plane tickets, you buying apartments, you doing everything, man, over here. Don't do it, guys. Geechee Lion says, I think some of what so-called simps do is normal for a man does who has affection, positive feelings for women he likes. Negativity about symptom depends on if he did these for the wrong woman. So thanks for your feedback and comments, because that's what I want. I don't know what a simp is. Growing up, we called them suckers. He's a wimp, but not simp. Wikipedia said it gained popularity somewhere around 2019, 2020. So yeah, I started hearing about it when I got online, really. I never heard anybody call somebody a simp. Hey, Hollywood baby, my favorite farmer. He says, hey, Calvin, glad to see you, brother. Guess how it's looking good. They're working now. Mr. Vega said, I'm a former Navy SEAL. Yeah, big lie. Yeah, see, that's 4 things he said. Sending money to impress the lady, because that's what we're doing. Why else do we feel obligated to send money? The reason I tell you not to send money, because I sent money before, and guess what? It didn't make a difference. The only difference it made, my pockets, I had less money when I got here than when I started with. It didn't make a difference. She's not going anywhere. I mean, if you're going to spend money, if you're going to do all that stuff, wait till you get here. Don't do it before. She's not going anywhere. It's not like men are beating her door down. They're not. They may be beating her door down online, getting all these messages, but when you get over here, it's going to be crickets. She's going to be so damn happy to see you. She'll probably give you some pesos. Hell. But yeah, let's slow down a little bit, guys. One guy asked me, he says, what's the difference between an expat and somebody on vacation? And do expats go through that vacation phase? Absolutely, they do. I was talking to Dean yesterday. He bear witness to what I'm about to say. If you've never been here before, and even if you have, and you haven't been here since the pandemic, two and a half years, your first month or so, maybe even longer, is going to be like a vacation. You're going to spend a whole lot more money than what you normally are going to spend once that levels out and your time goes on over here. So be cognizant of that. Because you're not on vacation. You're trying to live over here. But about your first month and a half, maybe 2 months, you're still going to be on vacation. Then you're going to have to start settling down, man, or your money's going to run out. And it's going to run out quick. He said, hey, LOL, mediocre. Yeah. That's what we do over here, guys, a lot of times. We put these mediocre women on these pedestals, man. I'm like, don't you realize, man, what's at stake over here? If you really knew what the real equation was, we wouldn't do the stupid stuff we do over here. It's hard over here, man. Don't you know there's a reason she does everything she does and says everything she says to you? Because she knows a good man when she sees one. She sees the opportunity in you. We don't see it. It's like, oh well, just another beautiful woman or whatever it is. But here's another thing that simp means. It's Did I write that down? I don't think I wrote it down. But simp was like SIMP meant something. Oh, yeah, that's what that means. Suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. That's what simp means. Hey, Mike, thanks for the super chat. He said, men in the West are experiencing the apocalypse of thirst. It's extremely sad. They're messing up the game by sending remittance payments before meeting. Yeah, and that's what it is. But here's what I want to let them know, Mike, is this. She's going to quench your thirst when you get here. You don't have to do all that foolishness over here. If you don't believe how thirsty we are over in the West, because I had my thirst quenched a long time ago. Any Filipino who wants to can start a channel here, and next thing you know, she got 5,000 or 10,000 followers. She's not talking about nothing. They've got this genre that they're pushing now. It's mostly about sex. See, I couldn't get away with what they're getting away with, but they know that you're thirsty. They know that you're going to click on that. You say, oh, she wants it. Or, the stupid stuff y'all see that they're putting out here, because we're thirsty, man. But I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to, be upfront and tell you your thirst will get quenched over here. Okay, Yusuf Amal Habib says, opposite of simp is a man who looks after himself first. Is that what that is? Is that what we're doing when we come over here? Let's be honest, guys. He said, C plus more says, my definition of simping is stop investing mental powers into negativity. If a woman has a negative impact on your life, stop investing in her. Simple. Yeah, but we don't even know these women C plus more, and we're investing already. We're making commitments. We're already making a commitment by buying the plane ticket and flying all the way over here. That should be the only commitment you make. Yeah, I'm coming. You don't even have to tell her when, for real. But you coming. Okay, but we're moving women in the minute we get off the plane. They're moving in with us. We don't know who they are, what they are. Oh, I've been chatting. Look, stop telling me this. I don't give a damn how long you've been chatting with these women. It's not long enough. You'll never know these women, man. You don't know their language. You don't know their culture, their traditions. But she knows you because we're simple. We're simps. A lot of us. Lars said, Brifault's law maintains that the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family. Where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male, or such association. I don't understand what you're saying. Geechee Line says, you're right, Calvin. Asian women have that magic, and Western women, especially Americans, cannot go heads up against Filipino, even the average ones. But here we go again. You walk right into this, Geechee. He says, putting these women on a pedestal. They're women, man, still. They're still women. And that's what you have to understand. They're just different. And meaning different doesn't make them better. They're just different. I love the child said, I considered my first trip to the Philippines as a tourist. The beautiful lady was my bonus. King Scorpio is something about Filipino can get a guy to do what they want. Filipino beauty. Yeah, but after a while, after being over here, it's starting to really, do I love the Philippines? Absolutely. But a little bit of the shine has come off of the women. Am I still getting A1 treatment? Absolutely. But because I'm boots on the ground, I'm inside the game. I'm not on the outside anymore looking in. I'm like, you know, is it worth all of what we're going through? Are we making more out of this than what it really is? Because I'm going to tell you guys something. If these same women were in Alaska, you wouldn't be going to Alaska to see them. There's something about being in this country that has a lot to do with me and staying here and keep coming back. This is a beautiful place, man. Cost of living and all of that, see? But what we're doing is we're not even simps if what this guy's talking about. We're way beyond that. We're way beyond that. The stuff I see guys doing for women, man, that they don't even know, man. He doesn't even have the pleasure of being called a simp. It's got to be something worse than that. He said women want a simp because she can't handle a real man. I just want to know what is the opposite of simp and see, because what I've been describing to y'all is undercover simps. That's what I wrote down here. That's what most of us have been doing. We've been exhibiting undercover simp behavior, man. The things that we do for these women over here that they men over here won't even do. You know, if you really want to know more about the Filipino woman, look, just watch the man. Remember, we're trying to solve a puzzle with only half the pieces. You can't do it. Look at the man over here and look how he relates to the Filipino and how he treats her and how she relates to him. You'll get an idea. But because she's different, something totally different, we lose our damn mind. And we do things that we would never do under normal circumstances, man. You would never move right in with a woman without even knowing her. I mean, we do some crazy stuff, man. Yeah, this is what we are. It's undercover simps, man. It's what a lot of us, our behavior anyway, if you want to go just by the behavior. And I do want to say this, guys, Leica, who comes on my channel, she's real. She sent me an email, sent me a picture. She's not the typical Filipino that we meet over here. Can we meet them? Yeah. But we're afraid of people like Leica. She's 5'6", 110 pounds, got a great job with PAL Airlines, travels all over the world, in and out of the United States. She's even got, because her base is LA and Manila, she's the real deal. And I thanked her, I was like, wow, I'm impressed that you even on my channel. She said, yeah, because you seem to respect the people and the culture. And I'm trying to, not indoctrinate. What do you call it? Orientation, like orientate guys about what's going on over here. But yeah, she's real. And she was interested in Roger. And she sent me her information to give to him, and I did. Anthony Williams said the Philippines here stateside seen that completely different than what I've seen in these videos. Absolutely. They're westernized, dude. You want the typical Filipino who lives here. That's not the typical Filipino. I was chatting with a guy today, and he's fell out head over heels for a 50-year-old Filipino, OFW, over in Russia. She's overstayed her visa. I said, dude, that's a red flag. She's overstayed that visa. She's being dishonest. If she's going to do that, what do you think she's going to do to you? She's over there fooling with them Russian men. You got damaged goods, dude. I wouldn't do that, but we're our worst enemy, man. They won't listen. People won't listen. They're going to come over here. I told him, and another thing I told him, and you'll never know who this is. I respect people's privacy. I said, look, man, a 50-year-old in the Philippines is very old. I don't care what she looks like. I mean, it's different if you've been with her for 30 years. I'm talking about you're coming over here. A 60-year-old man in America, just a typical man, takes good care of himself, basically. He's young. He's still young. But a 50-year-old Filipino, who's lived here her whole life, she's old, man. And I wouldn't deal with it. I wouldn't do everything he's done. I said, man, you better off with somebody 35, 40 if that's what you. He said he didn't want no games. I said, well, yeah. You ain't going to get no games with her. You're not going to get nothing with that. Motivation Echo says, for those who are still wondering about a right approach, to me, it's making your mission to care of yourself first and then let a woman comes after. This works well, trust me. And you're exactly right, because there's a saying that we don't get what we want, we get what we are. You're only going to attract who you are, really. I mean, so if you want better, then you're probably going to have to do better. LA Detroit said, bring your man back worked out for me, but I definitely don't recommend it. I mean, that's good, solid advice, man. I mean, a lot of times it's going to work out. When I made my video, I was trying to give guys an idea of what type of risk they run, man. You know, you're talking about it's not okay. You know how a man comes over to the Philippines for the first time and loses his mind? Well, it's not even that. It's 10 times that with a woman who's born and raised in the Philippines, and you take her to the West, especially somewhere like America, France, Italy, England, Australia, man, they go crazy, man. And you have to watch that. You have to watch their diet. You have to watch their mentality, the people they start surrounding themselves with, because it's just human nature. Once they figure out they're safe, they're going to start, oh, well, you can, maybe she might have a long face. You come home from work one day and you're like, well, I thought Filipinos aren't supposed to have long faces. And start acting like that because she knows that I can easily get a job over here, get a car, get a place, get a credit card, and get another man real quick. Because now I'm over here with all of these, in the simp nation is what, is where she is. Because men over there, guys, we're not as tough as we say we are, man. We're undercover simps, man. I see it all the time over here. I seen it over there. The things we do to get a woman's attention. He said, you're no longer the man she can respect if you simp. I would say, the guy on here said some women like simps. But let's go back to anybody new here. This guy says, here's what a simp is in America. This is American standards now. I don't know what anybody else. It's a man who will go to any lengths to try to please women. See, that any lengths is what gets me. I don't go to any lengths. Now, I do some stupid shit, but I ain't going to go to any lengths. He'll bend over backwards. Damn. If he thinks that's what the woman wants. That's crazy, man, right there. All right. Now, Wikipedia even has a definition. Someone who does way too much for a person they like, usually done in pursuit of a sexual relationship. And then simp is suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. So that's for anybody who's new to the discussion. Texas Joyce says, man, I give up. Yeah, but you can't give up, Texas, because there's new people on these live streams every time. This is a subject that you got to talk about over and over again. You can't talk about sending money, making commitments, getting to know women, vetting them. You can't talk about that enough because that's the problem. We think we know what to do. We don't know what to do. He says, we're starting to sound over and over again, and these fools still showing up at the airport looking so desperate. Talking about LDR no more and looking like buckwheat begging for a cookie. we're coming over here. One thing I can say is we're coming over here and we're settling for a whole lot less, man, than what we really can get because we're bringing our Western thinking with us. See, this is something that we need to talk about every single day, really, we could. Because you're right. You didn't jump out of the womb walking. You had to keep on practicing. It's called repetition. Same with driving, same with anything. Until it became natural. You know, you didn't even have to think about it. Brandon Bonner said, I pleased a woman and got me divorced. He said, undercover super simps using exchange rate that act like Western ballers. Yeah, that's just, just the behavior that he's saying. Sending money to impress women. See, that's what we're doing, guys. They're not going to tell you that. We had a guest on now this is an RN. He's a nurse, man. He got a big high position. And he met the woman one time for 3 weeks. Already built the house, already did everything. And I'm like, man, that's not normal behavior, guys. That's not normal behavior. You wouldn't do that over there. And why would you do that for the women over here? I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just telling you, my channel is a real life channel. I'm going to give you real examples to show you the foolishness that we do over here. We go crazy over here, man, when we don't have to. The women aren't going anywhere. Okay, second thing, chasing women. Remember I told y'all a long time ago, before I even saw his analogy, we're chasing women that are standing still. They're not going anywhere. They can't go anywhere. You're the prize. They're waiting for you to get over here. But what we do, we act as if it's the other way around. It's like she's got so much offer. Look, you're going to get the pussy over here, man, okay? Stop going crazy over that. It's nothing to go crazy about. And that's what we're doing. He said electronic pen pal. That's crazy. An e-pal. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But that's why we want to discuss this stuff. To kind of give you a game plan, try to give you an idea. I don't know everything about the Philippines. I'm not the Bible on the Philippines, but just the simple things I can tell you guys that's going to help you. I don't know the women personally you're dealing with and all of that like that. I'm just trying to give you some inside information that's going to kind of tip the scale in your favor because your mind is already in the wrong place. Texas Zoe says, bro, I'm telling you, when I got here, I got into a jeepney, front seat, paid the driver 200 pesos, and a lot was seat on jeepney. I rode with that dude the whole day exploring the city. I picked the area of baddies, explored. You see, a lot of people aren't going to do that. A lot of people aren't going to do that, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But you certainly don't have to move right in with a woman. See, that's being afraid. That's, you're not comfortable being by yourself. That's where that comes from. Golden Gate says, you're right, Calvin, but that's the problem with the simp. The simp is not patient. Yeah. See, I could put that as a characteristic of a simp, too. Use of the power struggle is there, but let her know you wear the pants. And it's real easy to do that over here. She don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. But one guy was telling me, oh, she's used to getting away with men because she's 30, don't have no children, single. I'm like, I'll be damned. I don't give a damn. She ain't got a damn peso. I'm calling the shots in here. Okay? If you got a problem with that, bye. I'm not going to mistreat anybody. But you ain't going to act funny with me. You go right back to the squatter area, okay, if you want to try that. And I'm not trying to be mean, guys. I'm just saying we lower our value when we come over here. We do it. They don't do it. They put you way up here. You come down here and lower yourself down. They already have just unbelievable expectation for you that you don't even have for yourself. And when you come over here, she's disappointed. She's like, well, hell, this guy's a simp. And she don't even know what a simp is. No. Look, trust me, man. If you're going to go by this guy's definition, I'm a damn simp. You know, because I've done everything he said on here. But I'm like, okay, if that's the case, because this is a hard definition of a simp, man. That would make just about every man a simp. I'm saying, what's the opposite of a simp? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Brandon, I cost to be the boss. How the hell you going to tell me where we're going if I'm paying for it? You better sit your ass back there and in the back seat of that damn taxi and be a damn observer. You know, be humble and be grateful and be thankful that you got a man like me to come 8,000 miles to see you, because I'm going to be thankful and grateful that I got a beautiful young lady that accepts me for who I am. But no. You're not running nothing here. Yeah, we forget we're in a position of power. And over here, I can let me remind you over and over and over again of this. Filipinos have a clear line. They have a definite line. You better not cross. They want you to be the man. But you come over acting like a woman or whatever, a transgender or whatever it is, and you don't want to put your foot down, you're going to be miserable over here because you're going to be living life the way that they want you to live it. And it's all about control with them. This guy coming over to see this 50-year-old, she's already, you're already doing everything that she wants you to do. You don't have a say in nothing. Crazy. The Orchid King said, today I heard a brother boasting that he sends his girl $1,000 a month, saying it's only money. He was from Toronto, man. I tell you. That's crazy. But no, I'm not on one today, man. This is usually what I'm doing, man. This is usually what I'm talking about because we're having a discussion, man. It's a conversation that we have to have. You can't come over here, man, and act like you acting like you still in America, because the rules don't work over here. You don't know the language. You don't know nothing. You don't even know where you are when you get off that plane. So we're just trying to help each other. First of all, you are in control because you got the money. It's as simple as that. He said, Calvin, do all Filipinos want to meet the guys at the airport and introduce the guy to their family? That's the tradition. See, she wants to corner you, man. This is the thing. She knows a good man when she sees one. We don't know a good woman. She knows a good man. But so yeah, she wants you. She wants you to make it a one-woman game. That's not the game over here, guy. I'm going to tell you. I'm not a player, but no, you don't come over here and you don't have that type of narrow tunnel vision, man. You can't do it. I don't care what she look like. I don't care what she's telling you. The cultural differences that cause most of the relationships over here between a foreigner and a Filipino to fail, they're there. And then you're going to be like, man, I wasted all this money, all this time with this woman. I should have just looked around anyway. Yeah, that's a lot of money. At least, here's the thing. We don't have any skins in the game. So why are we investing all this money, all this time, making all these commitments? It's not like I'm with Marilyn. We've been together 3 years. We got boobies. That's the only reason I bought this house, man. I would have been fine renting over there for $170 a month. I'm 58, man. What the hell? I probably got 7 good years of fucking left. I got 7 more fucking years left, probably. I can rent. I don't care. But when you got skins in the game, boogie, you got to make. Then you put the investment and the time in. We coming over here with this foolishness, man. I'm just saying all of that to say, slow down, take your time, okay? Yeah, Charles Butler said, I think we men should lead by example, our actions and what we say. But when you come to a place like the Philippines, and you know why you come here, all right? And then you try to lie to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Booby, what's so funny? Booby's crazy today. Knuckle Chucker says, how many women are orphans so don't have to pay her family? But see, this is the thing. This is another myth. Most of the time, 99% of the time, her family's never going to ask you for anything. If they do, man, that's a red flag. I wouldn't even deal with that. If I want to help them, then I'll help them. Honey, take her out of here. She's too loud right now. I'm on a live stream. Booby's going crazy today. What you been drinking, Booby? You didn't give her no coffee, did you? Get out of here, Booby. I've dealt with 3 families over here. Not one of them ever asked me for 1 peso. Not one. Now, will the girl take care of her family? Absolutely. You're not going to stop her from helping her family. And if you do, you don't need to be with her. You out of touch with reality, because you're going to come over here and you're going to see the struggle over here. And then you're going to take the lady out of the family because she's already the breadwinner. Most of us date the breadwinner over here. Okay, she's the leader of the family. You take her out of the family, then you're not going to replace that. You don't want her to replace that money. Man, you crazy, man. He said, what happened to the NTZ crew today? Yeah. I know that Michael Beach of Life is on vacation. He's visiting his mother in Arizona. I don't know. Jacob Tanjay might be at work. Hey, King Mills, the cow keeps it real. That's why I appreciate his channel. No sugarcoating. I mean, it wouldn't help. Thank you, brother. But, it wouldn't help you any if I sugarcoated it. There's a lot of undercover simps watching this right now. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I think this guy, with his definition of simp, well, hell, every man's a simp. What's the opposite of a simp then? I mean, are the men in the West really getting women for nothing just because they're who they say they are? Look at these athletes and entertainers and ballers and all that, man. And these CEOs and, all of that, man, they winning, man. The only time you're going to get a woman for your looks, basically, is when you're in high school or junior high, something like that. Why would you want a woman that only wanted you for your looks? That's crazy. He said, man, on the real, I want a 50-50 relationship, no more 80-20 for me, man. Well, it's got to be 100% and 100% for me, Brenda. I don't want 50% of nothing. If she's not going to give 100%, I'm certainly not going to give 100%, but I don't want 50. Charles said, action speaks loud and words. Yeah, but what kind of action is she giving 8,000 miles away? There's an unspoken agreement. See, people every day, they tell me, oh, she never asked me for anything. As if I don't say unspoken agreement on every single live stream I have. But they still don't hear that. They think that makes the Filipino good. She's not going to ask you for any money because she knows you're going to spend all the money anyway. She knows when you get over here, you're going to spend the money. All right? That's the unspoken agreement. You're going to take care of her. She's going to take care of you. She don't have to ask you for money. That doesn't make a good Filipino. A good Filipino is usually going to be the same in person as you've seen her online. And it's going to take you a while before you even figure that one out. I don't care how long you chatted with them, man. Stop. I don't want to hear that. Oh, 2 years, 1.5 years. So what? It's not long enough. You're never going to know them because you can't speak the language. Earth Beach of Life, he said, I love China. I've been on vacation getting tune-ups, slowly getting back to work in the chat, man. Yeah, I knew you were seeing your mother, man. I hope you had a good time out there, brother. But we're talking about men that come over here. Are they considered simps? Are we adventurers? Are we men because we had the courage to make the leap and get away from whatever circumstances that was holding us down in our own countries? What are we? Are we simps, adventurers, men? What are we, guys? Kuya Dan and fam says, from the time she meets you at the airport, she will put them horse blinders on you and lead you far away from the top shelf Filipinos. Yeah, they want you to be a one. They want it to be a one-horse race. It's to her advantage, but it's not to your advantage because it's a steep learning curve over here, guys. Very steep. You gotta meet 4 or 5 women, man, before you even know what a good Filipina is. How you gonna know what a good woman is over here if you meet one woman? That's being ridiculous, man. John said it took him 7, and John was the type, he wasn't afraid to approach women. John would speak to these women. And John, he looked funny and, had all them spots and shit on him, but John would talk to these women over here, and he would get them 99 times out of 100. But it took him 7. Cal Dedman said it took him 7. I have never met one man. I've never met a man. Yeah, well, yeah, I have. Let me stop. Not that lives over here, but I've met a couple, and these guys are kind of like weird, though. They came over here and met one woman, and that was it. And it wasn't because they knew what they want. It was just that they were in where they were in their life. Any woman would have done, really. And you don't want to be like that, man. It's not about being a player, man. It's about making sure you get the right match for you. I say, Booby just was acting crazy today. What's wrong with Booby? Just being funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. T-Man 57 said 226 watches, 74 likes. Let's step it up, sisters and brothers. Hit that like button for this boots on the ground information. Yeah, come on, guys. But yeah, man, this guy, he was tough on us. But I say there's really no simps in the Philippines because what we consider simp behavior in the West is really accepted behavior over here. This is what they want over here. They because that's the only thing that's going to match their output. They're going to give you it all. They're going to give you 100%, man. So you got to bring 100%, but you don't have to lie. That's one thing you don't have to do. You don't have to, because Filipinos, they don't have a lot of distractions like we have in the West. So they're a good judge of character. They can see you. They can look right through you. If you come over here and say, well, I'm a professor, and then every other sentence, you got bad English and you're going to ask her how to spell certain words, and, eventually it's going to come out. Motivation echoes. This is what I say all the time, but nobody's listening to this. He says, I think the initial period for any new foreign is when he should be extra careful. But we're in a rush, man. We're running over here. Chasing women who are standing still. We're not going anywhere. They're waiting for you to come. The party don't start till you get here. Okay? But our man said, is we rushing over here, I'm going to miss the party. The party already started. Fool, it don't start till you get here. All right? Slow down, man. He said, don't be a simp. hit the like button. Yeah, just your average Joe. Is that what? And that's really all it takes over here. It doesn't take any more than that because they're looking for character. You know, they're not looking, look at me. Do I look like Tom Cruise or Justin Bieber or something like Michael Jackson in his prime, Prince or nobody like that? No, but I don't have to over here. All I have to do is be a decent human being with a paycheck. Okay, don't leave that out. With a paycheck. Geechee Line said, listening and watching you, Cal. I think I have something to drink. Yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful, man. Just give my little bit of experience over here. Maybe it can tip the scale in your favor. Because even if there was a level playing field, which it's not, they've already psyched us up into thinking that we're coming into a place where just these magical, mystical women, you know, they all the tens, and we're already there already. But even if it was, we mess it up anyway. We're our worst enemy because we start injecting money into the game and we start putting them on pedestal. They're not used to that. A lot of these women have never been told they were beautiful before. You're coming into a whole different culture. But we're bringing our culture in here like, in Americans, let's keep it on America. I'm from America. We're 4% of the Earth's population. But we think we want to control 100% of the narrative, meaning we think everything is the same around the world as it is in America. No, we're arrogant like that. Now, your common sense will get you far over here. But we throw that out the minute we get on the plane. We see this little young girl, you know, like I said, we rush over here thinking we done missed the party. You are the party. The Beach of Life says sometimes you have to slow your motor to merge into the fast lane. Or you have to slow down. Yeah, you're right. To get off the exit. Because this is slow over here. There's nothing fast about this. This is not the fast lane over here. This is the slow lane. You know how you follow behind one of the old ladies in the you're in the slow lane, but she's driving extra slow. And you're like, man, I gotta go around her. That's what it's like here, man. And if you don't like a lifestyle like that, you're not gonna make it over here, man. It's slow over here. It's methodical. Everything is. So you need to think to yourself, then why is she speeding me up? Why is she wanting me to get married, move in, and make all these commitments already? If everything over here is slow motion, because it's a game, it's a script. And we stupid, we follow right along with it. Some of us haven't had attention in so long, man, that it clouds our thinking. Because we never even stop to try to think, put ourselves in her shoes and be like, well, I wonder why she's doing all this. Why she's saying all of this? Because you've never been over here, but I'm over here and I'm going to tell you it's a struggle over here. And women will do anything and say anything to get you over here. The women who want you over here, okay? I'm not saying all Filipinos. I don't paint all of them the same. I'm saying the women, they're on that dating site for a reason. It's not for love, guys. They ought to stop calling these social, it's really social media, but they need to stop calling them dating sites and really call them Shopee, you know, difference, you know, Amazon, because you're shopping. She's shopping. Rob said, Calvin, you're absolutely right. A lot of women I talk to think they are ugly. These are very good looking women too. Is it abuse or culture? It's just cultural. They're very humble. We mess it up. Coming over, tell them they're beautiful 10 times a day. No, 100 times a day. Yeah, driving Miss Daisy. Yeah, that's slow. But it's not that we settle for the fives. We put them on a pedestal. because we come over here and we act like we've never seen a woman before. Filipinos are not from outer space. The dust is going to settle, guys. That's why I say don't make the commitment so fast. The dust is going to settle, and you're going to be sitting there like, man, I ain't got nothing in common with this woman. I want to go out and do something. She wants to keep me here in the house. And if I want to go somewhere, if I decide, you know what, it's not going to work, she's always going to inject another woman into that. She's going to mess it up, and it's not going to be easy breaking away. You're going to have to move off the island, close your Facebook and all of that, because you don't listen to begin with. You could prevent all of that. If you come over here, you know, hey, after the, when my son's mother, when I met her, man, we went to Boracay, went to different places. And then when we got back, she went back to her boarding house. Was I being mean? No. I don't have, I'm not from the Philippines. I don't have a place over here. I mean, you know, we didn't move in together until I found out she was pregnant. But other than that, why do you feel that you're obligated to do all this stuff that we're doing? Yusuf sent me a message today. He said, man, a woman I've been talking to on line, I hadn't heard from her. Now all of a sudden she comes online and says, hey, I need some money. My mother's sick. And he said, man, I'm not going to send her no money. And then he says, I feel bad. I'm like, well, why do you feel bad? First of all, you don't even know the lady. First of all, you don't even know if she got a mother or not. And then third, you're not obligated to be their health care plan. See, they play on our sympathy, man. They know that, man, from the West, we sympathize with that stuff. See? But you're not obligated to that. Why would she ask a total stranger? That'd be like me getting online, and, you know, which is impossible, and asking for a virtual blowjob. I don't even know the lady, don't know nothing where she's ever been. You know, that's the same thing it is when they asking you for money like that, because Filipinos won't do it, man. Their pride will get in the way, number one, a real Filipino. Because real Filipinos like Marilyn, she knows reputation that Filipino has around the world. She said, it's not me. That's not who we are. So she's not going to ask for any money, man. Now, would she turn it down? No. I wouldn't either. She got kids. I wouldn't turn it down. He says it's cheaper to keep a girlfriend or Filipino wife. They're really the same, man, to be honest with you. It's the same. They're going to treat you the same. You're going to be put into the same circumstances. It's hard to tell if somebody's married. How many times, and Marilyn will tell you, we always have to ask over here, are you really married? Don't we? We don't know, because you think they are. You can't tell the difference, you know, but every day, because I was like, are y'all really married, man? You know, because they'll call you the minute you move in with them, that's your husband. No. That doesn't make you a simp. That's not what I'm saying, Roy. Now you're putting words in my mouth. I said that women play on that because they know that we sympathize on situations like that. Oh, my kids need something to eat. My mother's in the hospital. Well, hell, your mother should be dead. How many damn times she been in the hospital this week? Why don't she just stay her ass in the hospital? We'll get one bill and pay that. Every other day she's in the damn hospital. That's so, you know, if somebody in your neighborhood gave you the same stories that these Filipinos are giving you, you wouldn't believe it. So why do you believe it now? Because you see this beautiful lady on the other end. And that's simp behavior right there. You're sending money trying to impress the lady. That's the number one thing that the simp is. You're trying to impress her. Texas always said, never get seriously involved in a penai, unless you're absolutely 100% ready to live here and willing to adapt and adjust. And that's right, you got to be 100%, and you never 100%, but you can't come right over here and do that. This on-the-job training is not going to work. It's dangerous. Fred Baldwin, this is our resident OG, been married to his Filipino for 33 years. Says, listen to what Calvin's saying. You have a very good time while you're there. Hit that like button. LOL, Calvin, you're wild, but keeping it real. No, I'm just saying, man, a lot of these women aren't scammers, guys. They're not scammers. Stop calling them scammers. Because they ask you for money, that's not a scam. And because you give it to her, that's not a scam. And then she don't show up at the hotel, the airport. She didn't scam you. You know, she's asking you for money. They're called beggars and panhandlers, but that's not a scam. There's nothing sophisticated about that. See, here he is. He's calling them scammers. They're not scammers, man. They're not. You know, but the dating sites are just like minefields, really. You can get across there. You can navigate the dating sites if you've been on there long enough, if you have enough experience. But somebody who just gets on there, they're not going to know what to look for. And then you come on channels like, man, you get some tips, but you just got to go through that stuff. Every now and then you're going to hit a profile. It's going to blow up on you. Well, now you know I'm not going to go that way anymore. And I'm going to start looking for women who are acting like this. Filipinos would tip the scale if you listen to them. But here's their trick. They don't tell you nothing because you're too busy telling yourself about them. So now they keep asking you questions. And too many questions or your head will start hurting. But she'll tell you who she is if you will listen. But you're too busy telling her, oh, yeah, I've got 27 years in the military, 21 years as a U.S. contractor overseas. I got a $3,000 pension, you know. You said lots of scammers right here in America. Yeah, those are real scammers. You know, identity theft is a scam, guys. There's nothing on the level of begging on these dating sites. It's not scamming. And all you got to do is like the guy said right here. He said, just say no. That's all you have to do. I mean, you should be happy that a woman asks you for money, right? You know why? Because now you're not going to waste your time anymore chatting with her. You immediately throw her to the side. He said, I was talking in a bar in Thailand to a German fella whose home is in the Philippines. He claimed that Thai women do not like foreigners, I guess, but Filipino women do actually like foreign men. They do. They do like us. Filipino people like us. You're genuinely welcome in the Philippines. I don't know about Thailand. I've never been there. That's one of the reasons I've been here for 13 years. These people are really warm. They're really hospitable, man. That's true. That's not I'm not overhyping anything about that. Filipinos really are nice. And yeah. Hey, thanks Joshua L for the super chaser. How's the Messiah coming along, Cal? Just, I mean, you know, I'm crawling, man. I was making some people laugh yesterday because when we left, when we parted, I said amping, and that means, you know, be careful. What's that mean, honey? Doesn't it mean be careful? Yeah, be careful. You know. Yeah, impress them in person. I mean, what's the difference? If you're going to give the lady money, wouldn't it be better that you give it to her in person? Make it more personable instead of doing it online. It just seems so impersonal. It makes you feel like it's a scam. It makes me, I'll never do it again. It makes me feel dirty. When you're talking to a woman like that, and then she says, you know, hey, I need, my grandfather's in the hospital, he needs his medicine or something like that. And you're like, well, hell, what was he doing before I met you? Walker King said, Calvin, guys know their words Put it in. Pull it out. Peck. Yeah. What's the peck? That's the penis. Out of pussy. Oh, it's the pussy. Merlin says the pussy. Peck. Well, what's the penis? What y'all call that? Oten, right? The oten. See, it even sounds different over here. Yeah, don't cash or carry and lay away, because you can't buy these women, man. You know, they got dignity, guys. And if you just remember that, you're going to be fine. If you're going to remember that Filipinos have dignity and they're human beings, and a lot of them, that's really all they have. It's their dignity. We'll take that from them. Oh, okay. He says, I love the China says Boto. Bodo? Is it Bodo, honey?
Yeah.
Bodo.
Boto.
Buto. You know, see, we're old and we can't get that tongue action going with the NG words and stuff. Hey, Cali Lynn 102 said, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Just waiting for this subscriber guest house to get done. I want to welcome some people here. A guy was saying he wants to go somewhere where there's no foreigners. I said, man, don't do that. I said, that's another reason I built that, so I can always have an influx of foreigners, mostly English-speaking people to talk to, because you're going to need that over here. Andy Williams said, sorry, they came out wrong. Yeah, careful is humping, yeah. Yeah, he says, it's amazing we learn the off-color words when we learn a new language. Where's your mother going? She's leaving. Bill around. Hey, Gary T says, greetings from San Francisco, California. He said, how did you come up with the idea of the meet and greet? How many subscribers do you think will attend? Well, it's better for me to just stay in one place, Gary, than to try to go around and meet different people. As close as I am, I could have did it in Cebu, but because she knows the people at Meg's Cafe, and they've got this fancy swimming pool and this new setup, and it's, you know, it really is, it's quite inexpensive. I decided to do that. I don't know how many, maybe I'd say 10 subscribers, maybe. And then I'm going to have, you know, I'm going to spin the wheel and invite 25 of my Filipino subscribers. But they're all welcome. I mean, you get in free food. The swimming pool is free. Normally that would be, I think 150 pesos at this pool. It's a nice pool. But you get them. And I'm about a lechon for people who want the lechon. They're going to give me a buffet of food, which is good, by the way, because we did it for Booby's christening and Sophia's birthday. But then I'm about a lechon and, you know, about a liquor and beer and stuff. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money over here to do something like that. I probably, believe it or not, in a big fancy place like that, I'm probably not going to spend $500. Nowhere near it. And have all the beer you can drink and everything. All the liquor. Because I'm going to go over here, you know, at Save More, they sell real liquor over there. I'm about a few fifths, maybe a liter or two. AC King said, if you let yourself become an ATM, that's on you, not her. Few women are going to walk away from money that's freely given. Learn to say no. But see, that's part of being a simp, is impressing the woman. The realist says it's cheaper to buy a house or build a house in the Philippines. Build. I'm going to say build because you're not going to believe this, realist. And that's a great question. And that I never get asked, by the way. They always say rent or buy. They never say this question. It's a great question. If you see, they're always going to overvalue their houses here. Right around the corner from here, there's a house and lot. Supposedly a house and lot. They wanted $1.2 million. So before we built this, we went and looked at it. Man, you wouldn't believe it, man. The grass was overgrown. It wasn't even a house. It was literally a shack. I mean, this thing was terrible. The people was embarrassed. They saw me. They were embarrassed to show it to us. And I'm looking at the thing. I said, I thought this was supposed to be a house and a lot. Why didn't you just say a shack and a lot? Damn house and a lot. Yeah, certainly build your own house over here. Yeah, fancy swimming pool. Yeah, it's nice. Lynn, it's really nice. And very few people swim there because they got a brand new infinity pool in People's Park. It only costs 75 pesos to swim there. They actually have two big swimming pools there. They're nice. And, you know, that's just how it is over here. They say, well, hell, I can pay 75 pesos to swim. Well, I'm going to pay 150 to swim. Yeah, well, that's how I feel comfortable with you guys, man. It's not like I'm on the camera. And that's what I was telling the guy yesterday. He was like, Calvin, I don't know what it is. He said, but when I'm talking to you, he said, I'm just myself. He said, but the minute I know that the camera's on, he said, I freeze up. And I said, well, why do you freeze up? It's just you in the room. I said, no one else is going to see it until you upload it to YouTube. And I don't know, man. I'm not afraid of people anymore like I used to be growing up, man. I started reading Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, and all of them, man. There's no reason for me to be afraid of people. Hey, Erlyn Dobbs says, hello, everyone. Calvin, I've decided to visit with the intent to move to the Philippines. I'm giving myself 1 year to plan. I'll be visiting early next year. Yeah, that's a good thing. I would do an exploration trip, a month or two, to try to find out the best location, because it's location over here. It's going to decide whether you decide to stay or not. It's not going to be the woman. What's up, Franz? And because a lot of guys are stuck up in Luzon, okay, I was talking to Dean yesterday. Now, he's paying just for a small studio with crappy Wi-Fi, but he's up there in Puerto Galera. He's paying for the tourist area. He's paying $19,000. I said, man, you know what you could get for $19,000 in San Carlos City? See, but he doesn't know. Now he knows, though. You can get a whole lot. I guarantee you, okay, y'all know where I was living before I moved here. It was 8,500 pesos. But then if you put water, electric, and even the internet on there, it was nowhere. It was probably about 13,000 now. He's paying 19,000 just for the rent. And I was like, no, you're going to have to do something different than that. Cal, have you had any more contact with John's family? I learned what happened to his ashes. Yeah, I heard that they did eventually pay the bill. So I think they may be in possession of his ashes. I knew they paid the bill. I'm not for sure if they flew those ashes back over there or not. He said, what's a lechon? Well, it's just a slowly cooked pig over the fire. I mean, when I say slow, I'm talking about it takes like one, you know, they it's like 2 or 3 guys. They take turns spinning that thing real slow for about 5 hours. But what they'll do after they kill it, they'll gut it. They'll take everything out of there. They'll make a dish with the blood, with the liver, of course, with the chitlins. They do all of that. And then all you're getting with the lechon is just the meat, the fat, and the skin. Yeah, it might have been a shack and a damn lot. It wasn't no house and lot. For 1.2 million, And that was funny, too. She said, Calvin, you're asking in Maryland. Yeah, she'll tell me, man. Maryland ain't no joke. She was laughing, too. She couldn't tell me because, you know, They're bashful with stuff like that. Even though she gets the ocean every night or every day. Buster says, why build a house if you can't own the land? Well, you can lease the land, and you're not going to outlive that land, okay? I'm sorry. Hey, Keith Jenkins, thanks for that super chat, brother. I appreciate it. He said, salute, brother. You're not going to outlive a 50-year lease if you come over here. And it's just more economical when you think about it. Because when you talk about building a house, take your Western thinking out of it, Butcher, and say, I promise you, man, this is no joke. If you're going to be by yourself, you and your Filipino, you could build a house for 500,000 pesos, man. A nice house. You see them little houses, maybe like a one-bedroom house. It ain't going to be a lot, but that's all you need. A living room, a dining room and kitchen, and a bedroom and bathroom. You can do it. That's going to save you a lot of money on rent. Hey, 53 Shades Dark said, Cal, thanks for the info. I got the plans for the build, and I like his design. We will be building on a $50,000 budget. Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal, man, when you think about it. Okay? There's no 30-year death sentence hanging over your head. Y'all don't realize, man, that 30-year mortgage is a beast, man. It killed a lot of people. It killed a lot of people, man. I was on the way. I was on that damn list. They talk about the Grim Reaper. That's the damn Grim Reaper. I used to wake up at night, man, wondering, like, this is like the first 3 or 4 years after owning the house. Hell, the new house smell was still there. I was waking up in a cold sweat, wondering, how in the world am I even going to be alive in 30 years? Keith Jenkins, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I had to put you on here. Texas says, we got some pigs for the charm waiting for a Smoky Mountain Mala for his grand party. All you guys should make it this way. When is that going to be? Texas, I might try to make it down there. Hey, Black Hawk 72, thanks for that super chat. He said, great info, thanks. But yeah, we're talking about what makes a simp. And according to this guy, man, I should have put his information down and gave him credit. I was going to do that, but the time slipped up on me so quick today. But he said, a simp is a man who will go to any length to try to please a woman. I'm not going to go to any length. I'm not going to wear a wig, guys, okay, to try to impress a woman. If she don't like a bald man, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to wear a wig. I'm not going to dye my hair. I'm not going to do any of that food stuff. I'm not going to wear that waist tummy tucker that makes your belly sucked in. I'm not going to do all of that for a woman, okay? But, he says he'll bend over backwards if he thinks that's what the woman wants. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. It's a lot of stupid shit we do to try to impress these women. I'm not going to lie about my age. I'm 58. I'm not going to tell you try to be younger. But Wikipedia says he's someone who does way too much for a person they like, usually done in pursuit of a sexual relationship. Yeah, not for a person I like. Some examples of simping is sending money to impress women, and we do it, man. Thanks again, Blackhawk 72. I appreciate that. We do that, guys. Even if you send, when I get so many excuses, I'm like, man, look, you sent the woman money, that's it. All right? Don't justify it. There's no reason. Your mother needs a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack of Sterling, and you tell her you don't got it. But the Filipino 8,000 miles away, you never even thought about seeing. Tells you her kids is hungry, and you send $200 over here. Chasing women, he said. If you chase a woman, it makes you a simp. But over here, they consider that courting. Otis Huff says the house is going to be for the Filipino family and generations to come if you build it that. Not if you got children. And see, some people, okay, we're not that shallow. Okay, we'll think, okay, I'm gonna spend like I spent $1 million here. That's $20,000. I promise you, I'm gonna if everything is normal, I'm gonna outlive the rent that I would have paid for this house. And I would say don't invest no more than you can't walk away from. But just the fact that I've got a place over here that I don't have to sweat about. It's over. It's done. I'm paid for it. There's no bank. There's no loan that I have to pay for. None of that. You can't put any monetary value on that. And see, remember, rent is something that causes you stress over here. Believe it or not, I want as few bills as I possibly can have over here, because that's what drove me crazy there. Hey, Orca King says, say, Calvin, did you say one time John's wife, girlfriend is now dating, just asked for a friend? Yeah, she said she's open to it. But if I was somebody, man, I'd really take that slow, man. Imagine I was talking about that with Maryland today. I said, John was so full of life. I still haven't come to grips with him not being here. I mean, I talk to John just about every day. I saw him 2 or 3 times a week. And this is just me. So imagine what his girlfriend must be going through. She's in a state of shock. And she's probably going to be like that for a while. I would leave that one alone, man. I wouldn't. You're going to be walking in John's shoes for a long time. Hey, David S., thanks for that super chat. He said, the next thing I hate after high taxes are simps. They are everywhere in America. They spoil the dating game for real men. Yeah, see, they go above and beyond what the real man does. See, the real man's just saying, like, okay, I'll take you out on a date, but hell, I'm not going to pay your rent. We just met. But the simp will pay the rent. He's trying to be the big guy. In this article, he said that the simp is, a lot of times he wants to put himself off as being somebody he's not. So he wants to pretend like he's the nice guy, but he really wants the same thing that a regular man wants. Brandon Bonner says, I plan on staying for a year the first time, but hell, I might just stay. Well, if you can find that good spot, man, over here, I would say stay, but I would say tie up all your loose ends over there. And I did qualify for that foreign earned income exclusion. All but 3,000 of my, now I don't know how they do this, because the exclusion goes up to 108,700. But when you put in your information, they'll come back and tell you what you qualified for. And they excluded all but about $3,000 of my earnings over here. And I don't know what that's all about. Moochie C said, exactly, Calvin. Guys do not know how to make calculations. At $200 a month, rent the house pays for itself in 4 years or 8 years for yours that's worth $20,000. Right. Besides, it's an inheritance to booby. And it's just less stress for me, Moochie T. I don't want the stress. You got to pay that rent. I don't care if it's $160. You got to pay it. Yeah, he said, yeah, take John's place. Yeah, I'll pass. Yeah. It would have to be somebody come over here and meet her that's never heard about John. But you know what's going to happen. One of us is going to spoil it for him. One of us is going to see them out and think we're doing him a favor and say, hey, man, by the way, her old man died a few years ago of a heart attack. We'll do that. We'll do that, guys. I've seen it before. RLVRV says a simp seems like a gago in Tagalog. What's up, retired 2019? He said, what's that buzzing sound? Is that the guys working on the house? Yeah, they're cutting the, I guess what do you call it? The bracing or railing for the ceiling. Let me see, what are they doing? Yeah, that's actually, the grinder that they're using. Okay, wait. He said he'll pay. Wait, let me go back. He said he'll pay for her rent. Hold on, I gotta see that. Come on, Calvin. I'll pay her rent, and she has no gag reflex. Yeah, I'm not paying nobody's rent. Not when I first meet them. Hell, let's see. Yeah, that's that. Herb Williams is here. Is that Herb? Let me see. Herb should be here. He says, do you have to pay taxes on your house every year like you do in the Yeah, I do. But it's not that much. I don't know how they figure it out because we paid about 1,750 pesos for the house. And it was due by March 31st. Texas Zoe says, Brandon, for real, bro, there's a nice house in our neighborhood, 3 bedrooms, corner lot, has a solid ironwood cabana in the yard, nice shade, and the lot is 270 square meters, only 5 million pesos. Yeah, that's a lot over here, 5 million. Smooth Sounds with Eyes On said, when I do come to the Philippines, it'll be 8 months there, 4 months working here in America. That's a great plan. As a matter of fact, I know a guy, he's a subscriber of mine. He does it the opposite. He comes over here for 4 months and works for 8 months over there. What's up, Franz? He said, Calvin, keep the great content coming. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll be in Cebu. We're leaving Friday morning. We've been invited to spend a couple of days. One of my subscribers from Washington, D.C., he's a big shot. He ran around with Reginald F. Lewis and all them guys. He's gonna put us up for a couple of days. He got a nice Airbnb there in Moncton, 3 bedroom, 3 bath. He don't want to be in there by himself. He's a gentleman's gentleman, and we're gonna do that. Got a swimming pool and all that. Yeah. He's a multi-millionaire, so you imagine the money he's got over here. Hell, he'd be a billionaire here. Maurice Wood says, travel from the Midwest 2300 to the Philippines. Now, you get a better, that's first class probably. A business class one way. You get a better price than that. $53 Shades Darker says, I've been to the Philippines 5 times. Not because I'm a simp, but because I enjoy the country and my fiance. It's cheaper and the people are more friendly than my own country, and I'm a veteran. You know, we're just saying some of the simp behavior. And I was like, man, this guy really is hard on me. And I'm like, well, what's the opposite of a simp then? If he says a simp gives money, chases women, puts women on a pedestal, and then lies about, who they are to try to impress a woman. He's a doctor, or I'm a x-ray technician, knowing he's washing dishes at Denny's or somewhere like that. See, that's a simp to me when you do something like that. You meet the girl at the club and, good and well, this is your whole life savings you playing with in the club. But you act like, oh, I just got this money laying around. See, that's a simp to me. So you're going to go hungry on lunch break for the rest of the week, buying this woman drinks at the bar. Moochie T says in the long run, we're all dead. The matrix makes us overvalue money and forget to keep things simple. Always worried about money and forget to relax and enjoy life until it's too late. I couldn't. I should print that and put that on the wall over there because that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here because I learned the hell. I was 55 and it was damn near too late, but I learned in time, Moochie T, but you're exactly right. It keeps us focused on money. All I gotta do is go on Facebook, man. Every last one of my friends, that's all they doing. Showing, a new Escalade they done bought. Or my husband just bought me a new Hyundai. And I'm like, man, don't you know that's gonna keep him on that damn hamster wheel? That may kill your husband. Or they buy these big, gigantic houses, and I'm like, man, if that's life for you, that's fine. But to me, it's not. That wasn't living, man. MJ being a P2B said, what's the life insurance policy like there, Cal? Well, when I spoke, where y'all going? When I spoke with, Marie is a lot of, it's different over here, man. It's real different. A lot of what they want you to do is buy what's called universal policies, is what we would call them in America. Where, they invest part of the premium and everything, and then they'll show you a table where how much money is going to be in there in 10 years and all of that. It's not many whole life policies over here. But health insurance is pretty good. Some people do. He said 907 living. Said, Calvin, do they burn trash in your area? One Filipino YouTuber was saying that's a big problem there. If you live out in the province where garbage pickup is very rare, that's how you're going to get rid of your garbage. You're going to burn it. But they don't do that in the city. No, especially not San Carlos. Now, when I was in my last house where I was renting, the garbage man would come 2 or 3 times a week. Now, over here, it's maybe once a month. It's like once per month. But it's not so bad that we're burning it yet. Yeah, but Moochie T hit that one out of the park. That's it right there. Tim Gunlover said, y'all miss Big John. Rest in peace, my brother. Yeah. That's probably the saddest thing that's happening to me over here, man. It put a damper on my time over here. But that's life, man. Reality will slap you in the face no matter where you are. And that's what it did for me, man. We take so much for granted. And, man, it's just, I still can't believe it, man. It's been like 3 months still. But at the same time, you look at it, because I'd asked John one time before, I said, John, man, are you okay? Are you trying to commit suicide? Because John smoked like a freight train every single day, man. And after I put him off the show for a couple of weeks, because I'd asked him, I said, man, can't you just stop drinking? I just asked him, I said, look, John, don't come on the show drunk or drinking. He couldn't do it. But I understand that being, I'm an alcoholic myself. I just don't drink, man, anymore. I stopped drinking. May the 13th will be 24 years for me, but I understood John. That's why we became so close. But yeah, he was, man, it's like he had a death sentence. Hey, Dana said, hello, I made it. Been booking trips to the Philippines. A guy asked for a reference. I said, man, he said, I don't know about that Dana. Can I trust him? I said, man, don't you realize he's helped so many people on my channel and hasn't even charged them 1 peso? I said, he's a stand-up guy, man. And I meant that. And I think this was this guy right here. Yeah, it was him. He asked about you. And I gave you, the true story. So you may be hearing from him. Hey, Simps don't smash the light. Yeah, that's true. Let me see. What did he say? Something about Latinos. Look at this. Sorry, Latino. Yes. But, I told him, I said, yeah, you can trust Dana. Dana knows what he's doing, and he really has no financial incentive to cheat you. Hell, he's been retired for years. The Simps video game where you control the player in the game. He says simping comes from depressed and angry single moms raising sons to cater more to women and daughters to be more independent. I feel we created this problem, now passing on the blame. But we certainly created it. See, I've got 4 daughters, man. And when you raise daughters, you teach them to be skeptical of men. Now all of a sudden, here we are talking about the problem in independent women and why women act the way toward us in the West that we do. Well, we're raising our daughters that way. Anybody that has a daughter, you do it with good intentions, but when you add society and what they're teaching to that, they become bitches, man. Smooth Sound said, hey, Calvin, did you see where some politicians want to ban dual citizenship? What do you mean, in America? Over here. Maurice says, I'm waiting on my passport and would love to visit within the next year, checking prices on Hopper. Yeah, check with Dana Middleton. See, that's his, let me put Dana's information. That's his job, and he's been getting some hell of a deals. And I don't get paid anything for this stuff, guys. We helping each other. It's a community, man. Jeffrey says, I'm retired at 60 and selling off my possessions. Will not be meeting anyone at the airport. As a matter of fact, I want to settle in for a few months before dating. But see, if you got that kind of discipline, I say why not, but I wouldn't say a few months before dating, man. Hell, you're young. And see, it's a difference. It's nothing wrong with dating, man. I'm just saying, you don't have to move her in. You don't have to get married. You don't have to make all these extravagant promises. You don't have to do all of that. That's what we do. But when you come over and you see these beautiful women, man, it's going to be hard not to date for several months. For a few months. But if you can do that, why not? If you got that kind of discipline, wow. I wasn't trying to do that, but I surely wasn't trying to get married and all that. Because really we're putting her needs in front of ours, guys. And that's really the quintessential simp when you do that. When you thinking more of the lady and, look at her situation, the poor Filipino, she don't have a job and she look at where she lives and all of that. And we put her needs in front of ours and we end up losing. And then you're basically going to be like trading places like in Eddie. Remember that movie, Eddie Murphy? That's what a lot of us end up doing over here, trading places with the Filipino. What's up, Gleason Baker? Yeah, John really wanted to meet you, man. You one of those guys John wanted to meet. No, but you insinuating that. You didn't use the word trust, but you don't have to say it to say that's what you were. You were asking me to, to give you a reference. And that's what I did. Retired 2019 said, Calvin, you were a good friend of John. Finding a good friend is very hard these days. Yeah, we were a good friend to each other. We needed each other, really, man. And because, like I said, I'm a drunk, man. I just don't drink anymore. I understood John and, being in a blackout. Because he was in a blackout when he talking crazy that time. And I still I'm glad that's on tape. I can go back and laugh at it now, man, because I miss John, man. He was, John was who he was. And that's why I love people like that. It's like my mother always told us, you can deal with people like John. It's the ones that pretend to be somebody and they somebody else that you want to look out for. 53 Shades Dark said, Cal, I got a question. If me and my fiance come to stay in the guest house. Could we bring something for the house to cook? Absolutely. My fiance would love to cook with Marilyn. She wanted me to ask you. Yeah, that would be great, man. That's the type of stuff I want, by the way. I just want you to be a part of our family when you come over here. You can eat when we eat, whatever you want to do. It just makes your stay, because I'm going to tell you something. I've lived this. I've got some friends in Ormond City, Maddie and Patrick. They're married. They're a married couple. They're a young couple in their 30s. He's half German. His mother's Filipino, his father's German. She's full Filipino, and they've got a beautiful home. They rent the upstairs Airbnb. Well, when you rent the Airbnb from them, man, it's like you living at home. You eat with them. If they go out to eat, they take you with them. If you need to go somewhere, they take you in their car. I mean, it's like remember the old bed and breakfast? That's how it is. But they've got a really nice place, man. The mother, while she was over in Germany, when they were little, she was sending money back here buying land. She built that house. It's a big, gigantic house. It's like a mansion. They got the whole downstairs and the upstairs Airbnb. And I was like, man, this is so nice. It was like I was at home. It wasn't like I was in an Airbnb. And I'm going to give you that same experience here. Like, hell, you're 8,000 miles from home. Alpina has been on here. But yeah, guys, I got about 13 minutes. Almost about 2 hours super ride. That's 3 hours, really. Said I had a baddie there too, Cal. Yeah, they got some there. But I'm going to tell you how small the Philippines is, okay? Now, I was being a good guy when I was in Ormond City. I wasn't with anybody. But word got back to Maryland that I was. Now, remember, lady, we're on Negros Island. So then you got Cebu, then you got Lady. 2 islands away. I'm on a jeepney. All I'm doing is coming from town. I think I was they got the Robinson supermarket there. Going back to the Airbnb, of course, I got to sit next to a woman. Well, I don't know who it was on there, but they messaged Maryland that I was on the jeepney with another woman. The Philippines is small, man. But yeah, they got some baddies there. They got some baddies all around. Calvin, Golden Gates of Calvin, you're going to wire the guest room with a music sound system. No, you're going to have Wi-Fi. Hell, you got Spotify, YouTube, and hell, bring your Bluetooth speaker. Hey, Alan Fisk, he said, your channel keeps giving me hope. I retired from the Navy in 5 years. Man, I salute you. I'll tell you what, if I could go back in time, which I couldn't, I would have tried my best to stay in for 20 years, because at that time, all you needed was 20. I think I probably would have got caught by that. I wouldn't have got caught by that Desert Storm. Which one was it where you couldn't retire? They wasn't letting you retire when you wanted to. You had to stay in or something. But man, I tell you, guys like that who have the discipline to do that and then maybe work another job, those are the ones over here that's winning, man. Wow, they selling fake COVID cards? That's desperate, guys, right there. Come on, guys. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, she got jealous. Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, it's hard to. Filipinos are jealous, man. I mean, they're super jealous, especially when they start having feelings, man. It's hard to, the only thing was I had, that's when you have to go by your character and say, okay, well, if you want to believe it, there's nothing I can do. I said, I've never done that before. Why would I do it? Why would I have to go there and do it? All these women here are practically throwing themselves at me here. I mean, I can be sneaky now if I want to. Remember, I got high and, I drank and got high for years. Hell, I can go hide out. I know how to be sneaky. But I wasn't even trying to be sneaky. Hey, Will Sutton, thanks for that super chat. You said got a call tonight. You're on the hamster wheel tomorrow, but hopefully for not much longer. Thanks for the content, Calvin. Thanks, Will. Yeah, I've got a few minutes left. I got about 9 minutes left. Elmo J said, Calvin, yeah, I'm the only black guy here in my town. I think I'm the only black guy now, but Merlin says she saw CJ, but she can't remember when. But I'm pretty sure he's here. Because, boy, he's funny too, man. And he don't even know it. Because I think he's got early stages of Alzheimer's or dementia. Because me and John were having coffee one Friday in McDonald's, and he comes in and sees us. Now, I met this guy 4 or 5 times, and every single time I meet him, he introduces himself to me. But this time, he didn't just introduce himself. He said, oh, man, I thought I was the only black man in St. Carlos City. And, man, I'm talking about this place was packed. Everybody stopped eating, doing what they're doing, and looking at us. I'm like, man, he's funny, man. It was funny. But every single time I meet him, I got to introduce myself to him all over again. That's why I know. He said, we know you sneaky, Cal. You can always go back. Yeah, man, I'm sneaky. She don't really know how sneaky I can be. Paul said, can I get a quick recap of the simp topic? Okay. I looked up the word. Paul, we're older. I never use the word simp. We use the word he's a sucker or he's a wimp, but not simp. And so I wanted to know what it even meant. America says a simp is a man who's willing to go to any lengths to try to please a woman. He'll bend over backwards if he thinks that's what the woman wants. Wikipedia says he's someone who does way too much for a person they like, usually done in pursuit of a sexual relationship. Some examples of being a simp are sending money to impress women, chasing women, putting women on a pedestal, and then lying about your status in life. But one acronym for simp is suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. Okay. And then I was saying, well, what's the opposite of a simp? Because it seemed like every man's a simp if you look at his definition and examples. I said, so what's the opposite? What's the opposite of a simp? So does that make us all undercover simps? It's like, are there men in the West really getting women for nothing like we used to? We could go on our looks in junior high school and high school, right? But do men really pick up women now just for their looks, no matter what jobs they have or the character or anything like that? I mean, what are we supposed to do then? If I'm not supposed to try to impress the woman, isn't that why you go out and buy the Cadillac or the Mercedes and all of that, and wear the nice clothes and jewelry and stuff and everything that you do? It's to impress the woman. But Joe Muhammad said most men do all that stuff to impress another man. But I'm asking, I thought that's what men did to impress women. Hey, Rasta Nadi. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, come on in. That's the hairdresser. Honey? That's the hairdresser, guys. Honey? That's, your hairdresser. The last time she was here, we didn't have this house. You put your house over there. Oh, okay. Yeah, Merle is getting her hair done today. I don't know why. Merle is getting her hair done today. So that's the... Hey, Elmo J, thanks for the super chat. Say, gotta go. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Thank you. We were supposed to interview her one time. That's a lady boy, but you couldn't tell. It looks just like a woman. No, she ain't gonna come on here. She ain't gonna come on here. But she wanted me to interview her one time. But she got a boyfriend and everything. He's a Filipino man. He's a young guy, younger than her. But she's a hairdresser, she gets money. Natty Baller 2007 said, "Man who come to the Philippines aren't simps necessarily, but there are a lot of simps in the PH. I'm not about to upgrade a woman's entire life and be a lottery ticket just for some poontang." But see, that's what the whole point is. But guys ain't gonna admit that, Natty Baller 2001, because that's what I said earlier. A lot of us come over here, man, just for that, man, and we give the lady a whole life upgrade and everything just for that. Some of these guys, she don't got to do that. They'll give them a virtual blowjob, and hell, they'll sign over everything. Yeah, we're not really worried about the term. We just want to know where it comes from. Why all of a sudden it's in our language all of a sudden? It becomes part of our vocabulary. I'd never heard it until during the pandemic. Simp. I never heard of something like that. Even though they said Ice-T had it in his song. I looked it up on Google. Simps and suckers, he said, back in 1987. Elveron Brown said, Ballot buying box 2 miles away, Calvin. I got you. Oh, okay, yeah, ballot buying box. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Shout out again before I get off here to Oliver Waterman, man. Me and him, we've been chatting back and forth, man, asking questions and stuff like that. He got run over, man, a hit and run. Now, he's lucky to be alive, man, and he down in Winter Park, Florida, and he sent me a ballot buying box, man, and this guy's in my Hall of Fame, not only for sending the box, but he actually sent a printer. Now, I'm going to show you this printer he sent. And I'm going to tell you why I'm putting him in my Hall of Fame. Because me and Marilyn, Marilyn does a lot. She's a bookkeeper. And she has to photocopy a lot of forms, download a lot of stuff. So she came to me yesterday morning. She said, we might have to go to Bacalit and get a printer because I'm tired of running back and forth to the internet cafe. And I'd be damned if that ballot buying box doesn't come. And you would think, of all the things that somebody would send me, why would they send me a printer, man? That's the universe right there. I don't care what nobody says. I'll be on the same wavelength as a lot of people, man. I mean, this is just the strangest gift that I could have ever received, man. Think about that, guys. Come over in the Philippines. What would make him send a printer, man, over here? Why did he think I needed a printer? And he sent me this big 20-pound weight, multi-purpose, bright inkjet and laser paper. I'm like, this guy's on another level. Well, thanks for that. He said Simp was using those house parties too. Yeah, but it's some resurfaced Island Fish. Simping basically reflects that you have no options. You're needy and desperate. So you invest too much in one woman without her even giving you anything back first. Yeah. And see, but that's what a lot of us do over here. We invest in this one woman, man. We don't look around. She wants it to be a one pony show, a one horse race. That's what she wants. But it's to her advantage, but it's not to your advantage, guys. It's too many cultural differences over here that you got to weed through to even be thinking about trying to settle down with one woman, the only woman you've ever met, and you met online. No, it's not to your advantage. To your advantage, it's so different over here. And this is what I can't seem to get through people's heads, because they think everything that goes on in their country is the same around the world. Okay? It's not. It's different over here. But I can't get that in people's minds. if you don't come over here, man, and meet 3, 4, 5 different women, man, you're doing yourself wrong. Why would you do that anyway? You know what it's like over here? Why would you come over here? It's just like I said before, it's like a kid in a candy store. He goes and runs and gets one Snickers and runs out of the damn store. Meanwhile, the man says, you can have it all in here. You can have as many candy bars if you want. You could have 5 Snickers if you want. If that's what you like, there's 5 of her over here. You can have 5 of them. He takes one and gets out of here. And then they lock the door and that's it. And that's what's going to happen over here. She's going to stick her claws in you or hooks in you, man. And then to get away, you basically have to leave the country. Unless you navigate that one real good. She knows a good man. She's going to do everything she can to hold on to you and that pension and that passive income and that new life that you've given her, man. You see what I'm saying? So get out of that thinking, guys. You know, we're not simps. I like to call us adventurers. If anything, we're men who had the courage, man, to escape them circumstances over there that was driving us down, man. But even if you are a loser over there, man, the minute you step foot over here, you're a winner, because a lot of the behavior over there that we associate with losers, they'll make you a winner over here. Taking care of women, putting them on pedestals, chasing them, all that stuff, you a winner over here. That's what they want over here. But thank y'all so much for all your super chats, super stickers, thumbs up, all your support, man. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to head down to Cebu in the morning for a few days. We'll do some videos down there, hook back up with Franz and some different people. And then remember, May the 8th is my first annual Sunshine Shows meet and greet swimming party at Meg's Cafe. It's really a nice place. Free food, drinks, beer, swimming. Come on, guys. And it's here right here in San Carlos City. If you're in any area, Bacolod, Dumaguete, Cebu, I would say come. Because I'm going to invite some women and men from my Filipino subscribers. And we're just going to have a nice time of it. And it's Marilyn's birthday. So come on and join us, man. Food, fun, prizes. It's going to be nice, guys. Take care, everybody.